Although it has been several decades since the launch of Mini, it's as popular today as ever. In this episode, we have compiled a list of 25 fun facts about the Mini to put your knowledge to the test. Before we dive into the list, kindly give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Thank you. Number 25, Mini Record Breaker. On the evening of Wednesday, March 28, 2007, the Guinness Book of World Records recorded the largest official convoy of Mini Coopers. 269 Minis drove together in a stunt in Blackpool, Great Britain, organized by the Vancouver Mini Club. The purpose was to drive on a 2-mile route to raise money for comic relief. Owners traveled from as far as Croydon and Cardiff to participate. Number 24, 80% of the Mini's capacity is usable. Even though the Mini has a smaller frame than other cars, it is strategically designed to comfortably fit a family of 4, including their luggage. To make this happen, BMC purposely made the engine space-saving so the user can maximize the car despite its size. Isogonus mounted the Mini's transmission in the engine's sump to save space. The Mini also featured external panel seams, while the hinges for the doors and boot lid were initially positioned outside the car. Number 23. The Mini is a competitive racer. The Cooper & Cooper S-Series was inspired by John Cooper, Mini's founder's friend, who convinced him to consider using the vehicles for racing. These Minis would later win numerous car competitions, rallies, and tournaments during the 60s. Some successes were 5 British Saloon Car Championships, 2 European Touring Car Championships, 3 British Rally Championships, and the Monte Carlo Rally in 1964, 1965, and 1967. Number 22. Mini inspired the invention of the mini skirt. Mary Quant, a successful British fashion designer in the 1960s, loved the Mini. She was inspired by the vehicle to create the classic fashion attire, the mini skirt. She usually incorporated small cars into her brand's advertisements. Number 21. Mini has a maximum capacity of 28 people. A world record was set when 28 Sussex gymnasts could fit themselves inside a Mini Cooper at the Tower of London in 2012. This same group set a record of 27 people and was also able to set the bar high for fitting 23 girls inside the car. Number 20, code 621AOK, the first production Mini, still exists and is on display in the British Motor Museum at Gaydon. This white car was never sold, and you'll find it on a visit to the British Motor Museum, Gaydon, UK. Number 19. The Mini had more variants than any other British model. The Mini had many variants that could cater to the needs of different customers. The body styles included luxurious long boot saloons known as Wesley Hornet. Minivan and Mini Pickup were designed to cater to businesses that need to take goods from one place to another. The rest of the variants were Cooper, long-nose saloons known as Clubman, 1275 GT, Superheated, Era Turbo, Traveler, Countryman, and Jeep-like buggies. The Jeep-like buggies were Mini-based utility vehicles designed for the British Army and called Mokes. However, Mini Mokes did not make it to the military base. Around 50,000 were manufactured for 4 years from 1964 to 1968. Number 18. The Mini could accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 26.5 seconds. The Mini with the 850cc engine could accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 26.5 seconds. This car could cruise 60 miles per hour at just over 4,000 RPM. Number 17. Minis sold in Denmark were badged Morris Mascot. From 1972 to 1981, all Minis sold in Denmark were badged Morris Mascots, a name dating from the Morris Mini's Danish introduction. The name was also used to differentiate the Domi version of the Mini from the Austin, which De Forenady Automobile Fabriker imported. The Morris Mascot range included Mascot 850, Mascot 1000, Mascot Clubman, and Mascot Clubman Station Car, or Estate. Number 16. More than half of all UK-produced Minis were exported. More than half of the Minis manufactured in the UK were being shipped to Japan. In the late 80s, Rover considered ceasing car production due to poor European sales. The Far East market effectively kept it alive, and Rover, the British car manufacturer acquired by BMW, added more chrome and leather for the Japanese market. Number 15. The last Mini was driven off the production line by 60s pop star Lulu. The last Mark 7 Mini, a solar red Cooper Sport 500, was built at the Longbridge plant on October 4, 2000. The pop singer Lulu drove the car off the production line, and it was subsequently housed at the Heritage Motor Center in Gaydon, alongside the first Mini Mark 1 ever made. Production ended after 5,387,862 units were produced. Number 14. Mini was designed with an emphasis on active safety. Alexander Isagonis of British Motor Corporation Limited, or BMC, designed the Mini, emphasizing active safety. The Mini's body structure is rigid but collapsible to help absorb impact. If the car were to roll over, it would shield occupants from the front, rear, and side. Funny enough, one of the most famous incidents involving a Mini happened in 1975 when British rock star Mark Bolan was killed in one. He was the passenger in a 1275 GT when it collided with the crash barrier and killed him instantly. His girlfriend was driving at the time and survived despite suffering severe injuries. Number 13. Mini offers extensive customization options. Mini offers extensive customization options, allowing owners to personalize their cars with various colors, stripes, roof designs, and interior features. Some owners have added heated front seats, hassle-free keyless entry, and other technologies like the integrated Mini app. Number 12. The Mini fame in the media. The Mini Cooper gained Hollywood fame by starring in movies like The Italian Job, which showcased its agility and style. The movie famously featured a trio of Mini Coopers in a high-speed chase through the streets, sewers, and even rooftops of Turin, Italy. In the British sitcom Mr. Bean, the funny title character drives a green 1977 British Leyland Mini 1000 Mark IV with a matte black bonnet. In the pilot episode, he drives an orange 1969 BMC Morris Mini 1000 Mark II. The famous scene from the Italian Job movie of Mini Coopers outrunning police Alfa Romeos through the sewers of Turin was filmed in Coventry. It was also used in other films like 1979, Goodbye Pork Pie, which featured Mini 1000 Mark IV, 1989, The Bourne Identity, which featured Mini Mayfair Mark V, 2001, Goldmember featured Mini Cooper, 2003, The Italian Job remake, which featured Mini Cooper, 1968, Vive Le Sport featured Austin Mini Cooper S, 1966 Magical Mystery Tour featured Psychedelic Mini, 1964, The Prisoner featured Austin Mini Moke, and 1963, A Shot in the Dark featured Radford Mini DeVille. Number 11. Introduced due to an oil crisis. The original Mini can trace its existence back to the Suez Crisis in the mid-50s. The Suez Crisis is the name given to the invasion of Egypt by Israel, the United Kingdom, and France, with the intention of regaining the Suez Canal. At the time, the canal was an important shipping route for oil from the Middle East and shipments were blocked. The greater difficulty shipping oil to the West meant that petrol was rationed in the UK, and many people started to look for more fuel-efficient motors to keep them on the road. The head of the British Motor Corporation at the time, Leonard Lord, utterly detested these new vehicles and put designer Alec Isagonis and a small team of motor engineers to work full-time on their existing, low-priority project. We hope you're enjoying this episode. Kindly hit that like button and subscribe as we reveal the 10 remaining facts. Number 10. Minis were difficult to get hold of in America. While the Mini was tremendously successful in Europe and other parts of the world, just 10,000 or so left-hand drive Minis were exported to the United States from 1960 to 1967. In 1968, stricter emissions and tougher safety laws in America meant that the Mini was discontinued in the region. It remained on sale north of the border in Canada until 1980. Number 9. Mini wet feet. When the Mini first came out, it was common for drivers to deliver them one at a time, as large vehicle carriers weren't so popular back then. Mini had a sketchy record when it came to weather sealing. As such, water used to creep into the cabin. This got so bad in one winter that some drivers would put the carpets in the back and put on wellies to deliver the cars in an effort to combat wet feet. Once the cars arrived at the garage, they were dried out and resealed to a much higher standard so the customers wouldn't have to endure the same problems. Number 8. The first Mini prototype was nicknamed the Orange Box. The first prototype Mini was nicknamed the Orange Box, owing to its lurid paint scheme. Like the second, more sedately finished one, its camouflage included an Austin A35 grille. Number 7. Autocar magazine voted the Mini the greatest car of all time. In 1991, Autocar magazine voted the Mini the greatest car of all time. Later in 1999, 133 motoring journalists voted the Mini the second most influential car of the 20th century. Number 6. Mini had 7 powerful engines. Throughout production, the Mini was powered by 7 A-series engines, 848cc, 970cc, 997cc, 998cc, 1071cc, 1098cc, and 1275cc. Number 5. Early Minis had no radio. The Mini Mach 1 didn't have a radio because Alec Issigonis thought it was an unnecessary extravagance. However, later Mini models featured radios. Number 4. 30 hours to assemble. Car production was much slower in 1959, and each Mini took 30 hours to assemble. There were approximately 3,016 screws, including several nuts and bolts, in the classic Mini designed by Issigonis. Number 3. Large ashtray and gin. The generous door pockets are said to have been sized to accommodate the ingredients of designer Alec Issigonis. Issigonis was a big smoker, so he had a large ashtray installed in the original Mini in place of a radio. Issigonis also liked to drink, and the extra space provided by the sliding windows was intended to hold a bottle of Gordon's gin, his favorite tipple. Number 2. Sterling Moss was caught speeding in a Mini. Racing driver Sterling Moss was fined £50 and banned from driving for a year in 1961 after being caught speeding while test driving a Mini for a Sunday newspaper near Chetwynd, Shropshire. Number 1. The Fab Four were Mini fans. All 4 members of the Beatles owned Mini Coopers. Ringo Starr's Mini was modified to provide more boot space for his drum kit. Guitars owned by Paul McCartney, John Lennon, and George Harrison fitted snugly on the back seats of their vehicles. The last classic Mini was produced in 2000, and from then on, BMW started producing modern Mini cars with the latest features and design specifications. Thanks for watching this episode to the end. What memories of the Mini do you have? Kindly share with us in the comment section below. Also, before you leave, kindly like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell to be notified when we upload the next video.